After an incredible 32-day, nearly 5,000-mile drive through the United States, from Key West, Florida, through Georgia, Tennessee, Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, Wyoming, Montana, Alberta, British Columbia, and now the Yukon territories of Canada, the wonders of this Paris of the Yukon simply overload one's senses. From our very first impression of Moosehead Slide, a landmark with rich cultural stories, to the eccentric energy of locals who capture our imagination with vivid historical tales. The meticulously maintained structures that make up the eye candy of this northernmost North American city, our journey has taken us deep into a community rich with culture and history, uniquely suspended in time. Come with us now as we explore Dawson City, Yukon Territory on the road to Alaska. From Florida to Alaska, from the East Coast to the West Coast, join Jane and Steve celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary, traveling across North America in the cool Nana Coach, their 27-foot Freedom Elite Class C motorhome, as they visit the many beautiful points of interest in all 50 United States on their golden anniversary adventure. Our primary destination, Alaska, is getting closer and closer, and there's only one more episode to come before we cross the border back into the USA. We thank all the viewers and ask that you subscribe to our channel so that the algorithm causes our channel to grow. In our last episode, after a lengthy wait, we finally boarded the George Black Ferry in Dawson City for the trip across the Yukon River to West Dawson in hopes of securing a campsite at the first come, first served Yukon River Government Campground. The Yukon government operates the free George Black Ferry to cross the Yukon River from about late May to mid-October. Season dates for the ferry depend on spring breakup and fall freeze-up. The George Black Ferry makes the short 6 to 7 minutes on average trip across the Yukon River 24 hours a day, except for Wednesdays from 5 to 7 a.m. when it is shut down for servicing. It departs Dawson City on demand. It carries vehicles and passengers across to connect to the top of the world highway, known as Yukon Highway number 9. To avoid long waits, don't cross during peak traffic times, 7 to 11 in the morning and 4 to 7 in the evening, and ask the visitor center about scheduled caravan procedures. Our worries about finding an available campsite were completely alleviated as we arrived at the Yukon River Campground. Many excellent pull-through sites were available for us. We selected a site about a half mile into the campground, a spacious pull-through with a picnic table. Note, Yukon government campgrounds are dry camping only, and this particular campground does not have any water available at all. In fact, there are absolutely no services whatsoever on the west side of the Yukon River. No water, no fuel, no propane, no dump stations. Nothing but beautiful, pristine land until you reach Chicken, Alaska, some 100 miles away. So, if you plan to camp here, be sure your propane fuel and freshwater tanks are full and your gray and black tanks empty before you journey from Dawson City to the west side. We had filled our water tank and dumped our gray and black tanks at the Pioneer RV Park in Whitehorse 2 days ago, so we were all set. We quickly set up our campsite and unhooked Equinox from the Cool Nana coach. Both vehicles are heavily covered in dirt and mud from yesterday's journey through the 41-mile-long construction zone from the Moose Creek Yukon Government Campground yesterday. We have the front end and windshield on Equinox protected while being flat-towed by the tow car shield, a Tuno type cover that has proven 100% effective in protecting Equinox from stones, mud, dirt, gravel, whatever. It was somewhat funny to see Equinox front end completely clean when I removed the tow car shield. With no water available, car washing was out of the question, so Equinox's strange appearance would remain unchanged. We are in the land of the midnight sun, and we intend to take advantage of the extended daylight hours to tour Dawson City by taking Equinox back on the ferry, across the river, and to the city to see some of the sights. With only a few vehicles waiting for the ferry, we had no problem crossing, other than the crossing took nearly 20 minutes due to the high, rushing Yukon River, which swept the ferry about a half-mile north of the landing before being able to swing south and reach the Dawson City landing. We stopped off at the Visitor Information Center, and we found that they have the latest on what's going on in and around Dawson City. From unique local events to road conditions and ferry schedules, the Visitor Information Center answers all of your questions and will help you plan your journey on from Dawson City. Parks Canada has an interpreter located within the Visitor Information Center with tickets for walking tours available on site. The Visitor Information Center is not just packed full of useful brochures and maps, there are also eye-catching artifacts and displays. The Visitor Information Center is a place where any and all of your questions about Dawson City can be answered. You'll also find excellent Wi-Fi inside the Visitor Center, which you are invited to use, and we often found volunteers in period dress conducting very informative tours around historic points in the city. One of the cornerstones of Dawson City is the SS Keno, which has been declared a National Historic Site. For thousands of years, First Nations people traveled the Yukon River by birch bark canoe, raft, and moosehide boat to fish and trade. By 1866, the first steamboats were operating on the lower Yukon River, providing winter supplies to early trading posts. The SS Keno, a 130-foot riverboat, was built in Whitehorse in 1922 by the British Navigation Company. The smallest of the fleet, she was used to transport silver and lead ore for 29 years from the Mayo District on the Stewart River. The SS Keno is one of only two historic riverboats that survive in the Yukon. The other, the SS Klondike in Whitehorse, which we looked at a few days ago.
The spell of the Yukon. I wanted the gold, and I sought it. I scrambled and mucked like a slave. Was it famine or scurvy? I fought it. I hurled my youth into a grave. I wanted the gold, and I got it. Came out with a fortune last fall. Yet somehow, life's not what I thought. And somehow the gold isn't all.
The tribute to the miner is dedicated to the Klondike gold miners, past, present, and future, in recognition of their contributions to Dawson City and the Klondike region. In 1896, gold was discovered on Rabbit Creek, later known as Bonanza Creek. The event sparked the Great Klondike Gold Rush of 1898, and Dawson City and the Yukon Territory were born. Jane is an avid reader and had the Jack London Museum on her list of must-see points of interest. Although the museum was closed, we were able to walk about the site, and we were able to look through the windows to see the sparse furnishings of the log cabin Jack London called home. Jack London was the author of The Call of the Wild and White Fang. The museum features a log cabin built with half of the original logs from the cabin where London stayed in 1897. The other half of the original logs were used to build a second replica cabin located in Jack London Square in Oakland, California. In 1897, 21-year-old Jack London ventured north from San Francisco to take part in the Klondike Gold Rush. He hiked the Chilkoot Pass and, as a skilled boatsman, navigated Miles Canyon and the White Horse Rapids, and then traveled down the Yukon River to spend the summer and winter in the Klondike. He lived in a cabin on Henderson Creek and tried his hand at mining and prospecting, but never found gold. Penniless and sick, he returned to California in the summer of 1898. Although Jack London's stay in the Klondike was brief, it had a major influence on his writing. By the time he died at the age of 40, London was a very successful, world-famous author. Set in the Yukon, The Call of the Wild, White Fang, and To Build a Fire are among his best-known works. To this day, Jack London's stories are still widely read and inspire people from all over the world to come to Dawson City, Yukon. 2,911 feet above Dawson City is the popular sightseeing destination known as the Midnight Dome. The views are far-reaching and enjoyed as you can see the Yukon River, Klondike Valley, Bonanza Creek, the top of the World Highway, and the Ogilvy Mountains. The lookout area is well developed and maintained. The access road is paved, and at the top is a loop route circling around a large rock mound before heading back down the hill. Since the Klondike Gold Rush of 1898, placer miners seeking gold have also unearthed thousands of fossil bones, tusks, and teeth of woolly mammoths from the permafrost. Diamond Tooth Gertie's Gambling Hall at the corner of 4th Avenue and Queen Street. It's open daily, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. The casino has Klondike gambling tables, specially licensed in the Yukon, more than 60 slot machines, bar service, and nightly can-can style shows. Father William Judge was a Jesuit priest who, during the 1897 Klondike Gold Rush, established St. Mary's Catholic Church and St. Mary's Hospital, a facility in Dawson City which provided shelter, food, and any available medicine to the many hard-luck gold miners who filled the town. For his selfless and tireless work, Judge became known as the Saint of Dawson through the writings of Jack London, who credited Judge with saving his life.
We hope you enjoyed traveling with us on our journey to Alaska, and hope you'll join us on our next episode of our Golden Anniversary adventure, The Road to Alaska.